Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Today is one of those days that every municipality has an event. And I was just talking about what we should do is talk to each other, right? What we should do is have an event in each municipality, and then as you have an event in one municipality, get a bus, go to the next municipality. This is just siloed, and the message gets lost. And the thing is, we're as Martin Luther King said, we're interrelated. What happens to one happens to another. But I can tell you that what I learned in 6th grade with a teacher who opened the world to me was that we can help each other. And then when Dr. King, which is the quote that I appreciate the most and had opened my eyes, was, what is the most persistent and urgent question? It's what can we do for others? So children, I learned as a child, I could help and I could make a difference. And I could be like Martin, not Dr. King, but I could be like Martin. And so the thing is, we have to teach our children that it's important to help each other, that it's important to do things like help a senior cross the street. It's important to know what's happening with your neighbors. It's important to make a difference. And that everyone, even a child, can be great if they serve. And they serve with a heart that is full of love for their fellow neighbor. And so today is the day to remember that we can make a difference in everyone's life. And to remember that we were lucky enough to know someone like Dr. Martin Luther King. I was a child of the 60s. The only time I heard of any person of color doing anything great was during Black History Month. And so it is a wonderful thing that now we teach our children about true leaders and about what Dr. King did and still does, because we look to him, especially today, of the lessons that we still need to learn and the lessons that he's still giving us. Because each time we read his quotes and his speech, I learn something new. And I don't know if it's because of age, you see the world differently, but his speeches are still important today with everything that's going on. So thank you so much, and I hope we can work together and we can get this, I don't know, what we call it, Martin's bus, King's bus, King's Day, and then we can work together and make sure all our communities come together so that we can celebrate his life and his lessons together. So have a great day.
Yes. Thank you so much. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a walking miracle. And I and many others still here today were blessed to be amongst those who lived during his lifetime on earth. I often wonder if he was still here today, what would he think? Would he be proud of us as a nation? Would he feel we had finally achieved the dream? Or would he be disappointed and feel we had not come to the mountain he so eloquently spoke of, and that love, peace, justice, and equality for all men, women, and children is an elusive one, impossible to achieve? I believe he would be proud of our nation, and I believe he would say, we still have work to do, and that love, peace, justice, and equality are not impossible to achieve, and we will reach that mountain that he spoke of, and these things are achievable if we all believe it's possible and we all work together. We honored his memory today. We honored his courage, his sacrifice, and his legacy, this incredible miracle of a man who taught us that anything is possible if you don't give up and you fight for what is right. All of us who respect his legacy must continue to carry his message, passing it on from generation to generation till his dream is completely realized one day. This may be the most important thing we do in our lives for the future of our nation and the world. I believe Dr. King was delivering these important messages directly from God. Through every speech he made and every word he said, the beauty and truth of his words were undeniable. But like others, including the Son of God, his life was cut short They may have taken his earthly body, but they could not kill his spirit, his message, or his dream. It continues to live on and will never be silenced. In closing, I would like to leave you with one of my most favorite Dr. King's quotes. The ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenging controversy. The true neighbor will risk his position, his prestige, and even his life for the welfare of others. Thank you for carrying forth the dream. God bless you all, and thank you. Kim Shaw.
Thank you, Mayor. Good morning.
Good morning.
I will be very brief. Didn't plan to speak, but I'm glad that I've been called upon to speak. As a teacher of English and humanities, I spend a lot of time with my students talking to them about Dr. Martin Luther King and all the other civil rights leaders who gave their lives, sacrificed for our benefit. And one of the things that, I try to impress upon my students is that Dr. King's dream is just one aspect of what he intended for us to take away from his life. The dream was about forward movement. And I think sometimes we get a little bit complacent because we think that, there's been some successes, there's been some, integration, diversity in certain areas. And I think that we forget that Dr. King's message to us was to continue moving forward always. We have a lot of work to do as a nation, as a global community, and I think that it's really important that we recognize that and that we understand that we all can play a part in moving our nation forward, our communities forward. That is precisely what Dr. King intended for us to take away. The dream is not over, it's not realized because we swore in an African American president. There's so much to be done. And I think that it's important that we recognize that on this day. So as we celebrate today, let's also individually think about what we can do in our own lives, in our own communities, in our schools to move us forward as a people, and I mean as an African American community, but also as a human community. So with that, I say thank you for coming out, and thank you for listening to me for just a few moments. Mayor?